good afternoon to everyone. I, Jigyasa Khanna, student of DME Media School, welcome you all to the Vibrant India series, episode 54. I also welcome all our viewers who are watching us live on Facebook. Vibrant India series is an initiative of DME Media School for celebrating 75 years of independence. This series will be a year-long exercise. As a part of this series, we invite inspiring personalities for online talk, interview, and interaction with our students. The invited personalities for this series are from all walks of life and from all parts of the country. And today, our special guest is Dr. Sandeep Kumar, Assistant Professor, IIT Delhi, expert in machine learning, signal processing, and AI. I would like to take a moment and introduce Delhi Metropolitan Education to our viewers. Delhi Metropolitan Education DME is an A-grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi, and approved by the Bar Council of India. The institute offers BBA, BA LLB, and BBA LLB and BA JMC programs. DME believes in imparting world-class education to its students while training them to develop and enhance their skills. This education and training enables them in taking up challenges of the industry and creating a space for themselves with their competence and vigor. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes in the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and students through academic and co-curricular activities. Major flagship events and initiatives of the school include BG Varghese Lecture, Peer-to-Peer FDP, International Film Festival SIFI, International Conference ICANN, and Vritika, that is Convention of Media Students, and newly added in the list is VIS, that is Vibrant India Series. It is our privilege to introduce to you the personality of episode 54 of the VIS. Guest of the day is a multifaceted personality. Dr. Sandeep Kumar is teaching in the Department of Electrical Engineering and School of Artificial Intelligence at IIT Delhi. Dr. Kumar has research interest of creating a coherent interaction between data science, signal processing, optimization, and graphical models. He has completed PhD in electrical engineering with specializations in signal processing, communication, and AMP network from IIT Kanpur. Dr. Kumar received COER Young Alumni Achiever Award in 2020. He received DST Inspire Faculty Fellow and TCS Research Fellowship in 2020. He was also the recipient of MHRD Government of India PhD Fellowship. Dr. Sandeep Kumar was the TCP member of IEEE Global SIP Conference, Ottawa, Canada in 2019. He has done postdoctorate from HKUST, Hong Kong. Dr. Kumar is the PhD supervisor of 10 PhD, 5 MTech, and 10 BTech at IIT Delhi. He has an extensive experience of research and publications. Dr. Sandeep Kumar has been PG Coordinator of Counseling Services, IIT Kanpur, and MTech Senator at Student Gymkhana, IIT Kanpur. I now request the technical team to show some glimpses from his life. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. It is indeed an honor to host you. I now request Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DME Media School, to welcome the guest.
Thank you, Jigyasa. Welcome everybody to episode 54 of Vibrant India series. We launched this digital program in 2021 on August 9 on the anniversary of Quit India movement. And we presented episode 50 of this program this year on August 15 when India celebrated 76th Independence Day. Vibrant India series is an initiative of DME Media School, Delhi Metropolitan Education. It is an online series to get inspiration from distinguished personalities. This program has been conceptualized and created by Professor Ambrish Saxena. Vibrant India series is a tribute to all those people who have made supreme sacrifices for the independence of our motherland. This program is a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a celebration on India completing 75 years of independence. Let us have a look at the eminent personalities who have graced the VIS during the last 1 year. 8 personalities from the Defense Forces have participated in VIS till date. These personalities belong to Indian Army, Air Force, and BSF. 5 personalities from the education sector comprising education planning, teaching, and research have participated in VIS. 4 personalities from the journalism, broadcasting, and entertainment sectors have joined the VIS. 2 senior journalists participated in VIS and 1 as a commentator participated in VIS. From the social sector, 8 personalities, including women, have participated in VIS. These include Dr. Monisha Behel, Dr. Mridula Tandon, Dr. Rudra Seth, Ms. Tripti S. Chingal, Ms. Vibha Lakhera, Ms. Bhavrin Kandhari. Also, a Padma Shri Jitendra Singh Shanti participated in VIS. In last episode, Meenu Walia participated in VIS. Also, co-founder of Boon participated in VIS. 7 personalities belong to art, theatre, and literature. 2 personalities from the field of law and human rights have graced the VIS sessions. 15th women have participated in 50 episodes of VIS. I have already mentioned about 6 women working in the social sector, 1 in AIR, Air Force, 1 in human rights, 1 in theatre, 1 pilot, 1 adventure motorcyclist, a mountaineer, entrepreneur, 1 cancer survivor and cancer coach participated in VIS. 3 police officers have also participated in VIS. 3 senior IAS officers have also graced the VIS. From the other fields, Mr. S.P. Rawal, Mr. Augustine Walid, Sufi Sayyid Azman Nizami, Mr. Balendu Sharma Dadhiji, Mr. Satish Saxena participated in VIS. Today in episode 54, we have with us Dr. Sandeep Kumar, expert in machine learning and signal processing. So welcome Dr. Sandeep in VIS and welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for listing out the galaxy of experts we have hosted till now in VIS. I now request Dr. Amrit Saxena, Dean DME Media School and originator and ideator of VIS, to take the program forward.
Thank you, Jigyasa. So moving on, as everything has been said and heard about Vibrant India series,
Your audio is not clear to me. I don't know whether it's the case for everyone.
Yes, sir, your audio is not clear.
Okay. We started this Vibrant India series in 2021, and as it has been said that this was a program that we conceived and executed as India celebrating 75 years of independence. And in this program, we have been inviting people from different walks of life from all across the country, and the sole objective behind has been to bring some inspirational stories to students. And in an educational institution, the kind of institution Delhi Metropolitan Education is, and since this program has been launched by DME Media School, these students are journalism and mass communication students, and since they will be joining the media, they need a lot of such motivation wherein they can think as to what all can be done to bring all such people to the fore who matters, who would have contributed significantly to the society. So in this series, we have been having scientists, bureaucrats, police officers, musicians, broadcasters, journalists, and also we have been focusing that if we can also bring to the fore some such scientists who are coming such kind of things to society wherein we all are benefited. So in this series, we could approach Dr. Sandeep Kumar, and we are grateful to him that he accepted our request to be with us. And since he is working in an area which is very upcoming and which is bound to make an impact on the mainstream media functioning as well. So that is also a point of curiosity to us all. And as far as the format of the program is concerned, as Dr. Sandeep Kumar, it is after this initial segment, we will be requesting you to narrate your own story as to what brought you to what you are doing today. With all your experience, with your anecdotes or any such thing which you feel is worth telling, please do that. Also, if you would have come across any challenges, any problems which you overcame to do the things which you actually wanted to do, because there are the points wherein the young people can take some inspiration, wherein they should understand that whatever problems are there, they have to move forward and they have to overcome with whatever is coming in their way. So with this, I stop here and I request you, Dr. Sandeep Kumar, to please take it forward from here after you complete your initial expression for 15-20 minutes. Then I will be asking you certain questions in the form of some queries wherein we would like to know more whatever you would have told in this session. And then obviously anybody will be free in this session to put up their questions to you. So, Dr. Sandeep Kumar, please take it here.
Thank you, Dr. Ambrish. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Susmita Bala, and thank you everyone for arranging this series. And I would like to congratulate all the members who have put the effort in creating this impactful and you can say inspiring series. So I was going through the videos in the limited time, so it was really very inspiring. And the good thing is that now it will be stored on the YouTube, and the generations will be following and the inspirations and the stories of hard work from the persons who have already contributed to the society. And I'm really thankful to you and also Saima, who has coordinated with me and have arranged this thing. So it's a lovely platform. So yeah, so the thing is where to start with is a bit to tell your own story is the most difficult part, right? And you are the masters of it. The persons from like media are the masters of how to communicate things. So in this case, I guess I would be needing some push from your side, maybe in form of questions and maybe in form of the discussions, because I've never talked about myself in anything. And the most important thing, you also brought a very important issue about the role of AI in journalism. Why journalism is very important case, because journalism has always been kind of modifying itself. So it is the front runner of so it is a runner to adopt changes. So because the story needs to be communicated to the society, right? And if society is changing, new technologies are changing, so things have to change. So AI and you can say AI machine learning is going to be the fundamental part of a journalism, because you need to uh, communicate stories, right? So let's start with myself. Currently, what I do currently. I am an assistant professor at IIT Delhi. I am I am with Department of Electrical Engineering, School of AI, School of Artificial Intelligence, and here I head a Machine Intelligence Signals and Networks Laboratory, where we focus on fundamental aspects of artificial intelligence and machine learning, where we solve the problems of the data that could be applied into different fields. Like some problems what we are working on, where it is on how to identify what is beneath the earth surfaces based on. So some other problems we are working on, given the image of your hand or something, is there any skin disease. So these are the variety of problems we are currently working on. It's a very interesting area, and the good best part of this is that it is going to impact our lives in the coming days, and it has already started. So I joined Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Delhi, in 2020 August. And before that, I was at Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. So there is a college, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology in Hong Kong. So I was there working as a postdoctoral fellow. So postdoctoral fellow, many of you might not be aware of, most of the students. So it's a kind of a middle, you can say. As a PhD, you are a student, right? So you complete your PhD and to gain experience, because PhD is what you are putting yourself into a domain where you need to do research, you need to continuously innovate something. So that is why you are, and PhD is where it's not a kind of a last goal of your academic career. It's just the beginning, that you are kind of trained yourself to, now you will put yourself to innovate something, whether you stay in academia, whether you stay in industry, whether you go into any government organization. The PhD is simply a kind of a, you can say, indication that this person has kind of put effort in understanding something new, and he or she has planned to put the further steps in the line of innovations. So postdoctoral is that, okay, on PhD you focus on some particular problem, and because that problem, whenever you work on a PhD, it is very specific problem, right? But when you are transiting from a student to academician, or as a researcher, or as a professional, you need to understand the area in a much better, in a broader sense. So there I joined Hong Kong University of Science and Technology postdoctoral fellow. There my role was to supervise students, create new possibilities of innovations, discuss, collaborate with industries, collaborate with government organizations, identify problems which are there. So I stayed there for 3 years, from 2017 to 2020. During that period only I married. And in 2017, I completed my PhD from IIT Kanpur. I graduated from IIT Kanpur in 2017, and from IIT Kanpur only I did my master's. So I did my master's, that is called MTech, and PhD from IIT Kanpur. So from 2013 to 2011 to 13, I did my MTech, and then from 13 to 17, I did my PhD. So in my PhD, I did my PhD from the Department of Electrical Engineering, and the focus of my PhD was on understanding and designing algorithms when you have over a network. So in order to explain what do we mean by network, so network is something which is fundamental to our, you can say, society. Like we are interacting, and based on so each of us will form a part of a node of a network, and based on how we can do something. I will talk about the details of how these things are coming into the picture, how algorithms are designed, where we are solving real world problems with these algorithms. So my focus was on understanding the computation over networks. I did my bachelor's from College of Engineering, Roorkee. Uh, it is a college situated in Roorkee, near Haridwar Highway. And from 2007 to 2011, I did my I did my BTech, and my specialization was electronics and telecommunication engineering. So this is very brief about my academic journey. During the TCA, like during my PhD, I received TCS fellowship. So there is some there was some error in my introduction. So I received TCS fellowship during my PhD from 2015 to 2017. And before joining IIT Delhi, I received DST Inspire fellowship. That is from 2020 to 2025. So this is a very brief about my academic journey, and if I want to sum up, if I want to say something that what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. So only one thing I can say, that never lower the bar of your ambitions. It may take time. It may take time. Many times I have seen people. So the struggle is the part of your life. Right? So if you think that you are capable of doing something, and if your time is not working with you, is in support of you, you may change your, like, you may change the route, but never lower your ambitions. Okay, get adjusted with something which you are not dreaming of. So this is a one line suggestion what I could do, what I can suggest for now as a summary of my life, what I have understood so far. Other than that, you choose your path nicely. Now the things like what I see from the technology perspective and from the perspectives of having opportunities for youngsters, right? So I see the possibilities of opportunities are growing exponentially. Earlier, back then, in like 10 years back or much before that also, there were hardly like many areas, right? You were restricted to doing engineering or this and that. Now you have possibilities beyond imaginations, and you have opportunities to learn, you have opportunities to grow also beyond your imagination. Now everywhere you have the opportunity to learn, maybe from YouTube. So how you utilize the technology, how you utilize the current state of the existence will sorry. So how you utilize the time that you are in will be very critical for you, because things are changing very fastly, and the possibilities to also grow and the possibilities to also put you to the downfall are uh, have opened a lot. So you need to really decide, and you need to think what you are actually doing. So on the other side, what I would suggest, that you can start asking questions, and maybe it will bring more perspectives to my journey.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sandeep.
Your voice is a little bit still low for me.
Thank you, Dr. Sandeep. Now, obviously, you have told all about your academic journey and all your achievements and all. But then one major thing that everybody confronts while somebody is getting education, particularly at the undergraduate level, even to some extent at the postgraduate level, that how did you decide whatever you have studied, whether it was a very deliberate decision or it happens like that, and then once you did that, all there were possibilities before you, because once you are doing your BTech, anybody who's doing a BTech, there are several openings before that person. Either you can go for very common combination of BTech plus MBA, or you can even go directly to the industry, but then you opted for something which is related to research and education. So how all this happened, whether you had a conscious decision regarding this or what?
Yeah, so very interesting question. So yeah, for me, it was not a conscious decision, and also it was not deliberate and well planned. So let me tell you, I come from a family where you can say I am the first generation of engineers. So you can understand that there were no one who were guiding me to do this. So I have learned from my mistakes, right? I have learned from the, you can say, experiences around. So I have done something, I have corrected my mistakes. So BTech was, to get into BTech was a kind of a, you can say, peer decision, because at that time everyone was doing BTech. So I have to do it. And the place where I come from, so I belong to Bihar. There is a place called Hajipur Vaishali. So I was born and brought up there. So, so there, if you are graduating like after 10th or 12th, so you have to decide whether you have to take medical or you have to take engineering. I was like, I was interested in maths for sure, and I was interested in science, but it was not very sure. Like if I am thinking of that time, now it was not my, you can say a very strong belief that I wanted to do engineering at that time, because everyone was doing and everyone was preparing, so I jumped into that. But after that, everything what I did was what I chose for myself. So the thing is, so at that point of time, I joined. Everyone was joining as an engineering student, so I joined engineering, and there was a deliberate, like deliberation, what branch to what branch to choose, what branch not to choose. So somehow I did not have a very strong liking of computer science. I don't know why. But now I am currently working on, so I'm thinking, okay, I will do electronics. Or maybe that was also the part of a peer decision, like peer pressure, because people were saying this thing was fancy, this thing was not fancy. So I joined electronics and telecommunication department. It was very interesting. And the BTech, the first, so when you go out for the first time from like after 12, whatever you do, whether you do engineering, whether you do bachelor's, whether you do like a BBA or whatever, so that duration is the best part of your life, where you actually learn a lot, whatever you learn. So it's not only technical things or academic things you learn a lot of life lessons, and the life lessons that you learn during that time will be helpful for you beyond what you have thought of. The thing is, life skills are the most important part of your success. So your success, of course, is due to your hard work and your technical skills, but it is also how you manage your life. So I will suggest that you be very conscious of what you are doing. If you are doing bachelor's, so for the bachelor students, you really think you are in a time where you are creating the 90% of the thing that you can achieve for yourself during this time. Whether you will get low marks, high marks, that will not matter. That will not matter after 5 years. But the life is how to fight when you are in low, how to make friends, how to communicate, how to so these all things really matter in a very long run. So that was very good time for like I really enjoyed that time. The place was near to Haridwar and Roorkee, so we had like frequent visits to hills and all. And so the first year was the longest duration. So because we enjoyed a lot in the first year, and then suddenly we entered in the fourth year, and then all these issues of placements and all, which company to join, which company not to join. But during the process of BTech, what I realized, that I have an interest to understand things in detail. I was not a great scorer. It's not that I was kind of a topper in everything, but whatever I wanted to understand, if I am liking something, I wanted to get to the details of it. So that was there. So, but so maybe that was one of the reason why I am here, because I am keen to details. But during that time also, I tried many things, but I planned for many things. I also took some coachings for CAT admissions, because at that point of a time everyone was again preparing for CAT, and so okay, I will also do CAT, so I prepared for it. It was then I also, a few of my friends were planning for GATE. At that time there was GRE exam. I think still we write GRE exam for admissions to abroad. So that was also very fascinating. So I also tried. So I also bought, but when I got into the details of GRE, that okay, it's not just you've passed the exam, right? You have a lot of more things to be done later. For example, you have to write exam. Even the writing exams and all were very expensive. In a sense, you have to invest a lot of time and then and a lot of money to just get the things. And so I dropped GRE because of this reason. I wanted to study further. Uh, I wanted to study abroad at that point of a time, but there are a lot of things involved. The first thing, you have to wait for, okay, and you also need to look for it from your background, that how like if everyone is buying something, doesn't mean that you will buy. If your friends can afford something, it doesn't mean that can you like you also go for it. You cannot put unnecessary pressure on your parents for something, because you have to also understand where you're coming from, right? Of course, but the thing is, life is not fair or unfair. Like you have to understand your circumstances. So that was one of the decision, like one of the reason why I did not pursue for the GRE. Then the thing was, either I go for job, okay, then or I prepare for something, okay. So then there were two options. Either I go for IIM's CATs, okay, write CAT exam, or I go for GATE. So GATE that time it was not very popular. Okay. So GATE, because the thing is people have a kind of a repulsion from the technical thing. Oh no, too much technical thing. So it was not very popular at that point of a time. But the thing is, I was interested in going to join IIMs. But when I realized, if I will, suppose the best case, if I got got into IIM, then after I graduate, what I will become? I will become a manager or something, right? So you have to also look for, like, what you actually want to do, what you actually. So at that point, it was very clear to know this is not what I want to become, right? Even if it will pay good amount of money and it is very fancy, but I will not be happy being a manager. So I wanted to be a technical person. I wanted to be a technical person. I wanted to have, I wanted to work where there are details of technicalities and oriented to maths. So that decision was, you were saying
Yes,
something.
so I wanted to come straight to the thing, to the point, which is of interest to us all. Since you are working in the area of artificial intelligence, and it's, I believe, the most in thing, whether somebody belongs to technology or is a common man. And particularly in media, number of such things are happening wherein AI is performing a major role. And we believe that in the time to come, everything will be replaced by AI, and there are a lot of apprehensions also in media houses among the journalists that what will happen to them once AI takes over all compartments of media functioning. So I will request you to please tell us something more which we normally understand about AI and how AI is going to impact overall our daily lives, and particularly what kind of impact you can foresee it is going to make on media.
Yeah, so AI is going to impact every corners of our life, right? Whether we are going to accept it or not, but it is going to impact. But it is also the fact that it is not going to replace humans. It is not going to replace experts for sure. There are apprehensions. Of course, some of the roles will be taken away. Some of the roles where too much innovations are not required. AI is for the innovation, but some of the roles where you can say your experience, your intelligence is not required. Those roles, those automated roles will definitely be kind of away by the AI bots and something. But the future is not as dark as it is being portrayed, right? So you can just think AI is what? So if we can start with this question, what do you understand by AI? Let me ask some of the audiences if they have this answer. So can someone just say what is their understanding of AI?
Uh, is there anybody interested in answering or could dare to answer? Because no, normally everybody understands, but then obviously uh, the replying to your question may be a bit difficult. Yeah, anybody who can do this?
The question be repeated once.
So what do you understand when we say artificial intelligence? Is it just a
Alexa.
fancy army of robots or a humanoid or what?
Sir, I understand Alexa. Artificial intelligence for me is Google Dot or Alexa or somebody who responds with a keyword. For example, if I'm saying Alexa, do this, so Alexa will respond to whatever I'm saying or whatever action or command I'm giving when we use that keyword. So that is artificial intelligence for me. Similarly, cars, Tesla mein jo car hai, which is not right now in India, but they respond to your commands. So that is basically using intelligence of a machine. So that is machine-made intelligence and not an intelligence of a human being. Human being is instilling intelligence in a machine. So for me, that is artificial intelligence.
Right. So yeah, so installing intelligence in a machine, of course. But the thing is, you are not telling Alexa, or you are not telling your so for Alexa can be trained to multiple humans, right? So artificial intelligence is something learning from experience, right? It is very fundamental. How we learn, how we as a human we learn, we just try to impart the same methodology to a machine. Suppose if you are a resident, suppose you come to Delhi for the first time, right? You're new to this place, okay? And you want to eat food, or maybe you want to go to restaurant. And now for like have this Zomato and all, what you will do? You will try on your own, right? You will try to go to some restaurants, right? So once you will eat, you will judge whether the food was good or not, right? But after few iterations, you have a clear-cut idea. If I want to have breakfast, where I should go. If I want to have lunch, where I should go. If I want to have lunch and this kind of or dinner, then where should I go, right? So the decision that you are making after few iterations is what we want machines to do. This is a very simple sense of artificial intelligence. It's not the army of robots and they're doing fancy things. We just want to train a system where it can improve their understanding with the experience. And as a human, we are evolved to do this, right? And as for a human, it is an outcome of the evolution of billions of years, right? So similarly, this transferability of the skills, right? We want to create a system where this improving from experience could be imparted was a big is a big challenge, right? And we're still pursuing it. So artificial intelligence is nothing fancy. It is just improving or making a system which can improve from experience. Just think how we do. When we do learning, there are many forms of learning, right? So suppose if there is a toddler, we say that, or maybe suppose if I'm seeing something new and I've been told that this looks like a cat, right? So when we are being trained that this is how you should be responding when looking at this kind of image, this is called supervised learning. There is something called reinforcement learning, where you check whether you got something, where was there any reward to it. If the reward was positive, then you redo it again. If reward was negative, you don't do it, like toddlers, right? So for toddler, it will approach a burning lamp, it will touch it, like he does not know whether it's hot or not. He will touch, and then he will say, oh, it's hot. Then he will and from the next time, he or she will not do it again, right? This is called reinforcement learning. So the overall artificial intelligence has been built with smaller components, smaller components. Now, what if we are communicating now? Then also we are using AI, because you can see the image that we are capturing, right? So from capturing of image to making it stable, right? And removing the noise from our voice, right? If in all these systems from here to like being communicated to your place, we are using AI. We are using machine learning, right? When you see a recommendation for a movie, right? When you see friend suggestion on for the Facebook, we are using AI. So I think we all know that AI is the part of our life, and we have been like we are regularly encountering there. You can say maybe you can say intrusion, in some sense, also intrusion in our daily life. But whether AI is going to replace your jobs or not, it's not the case. It's not the case. But it is also giving you a warning that you have to upgrade yourself. You have to upgrade, and not only one-time upgradation, because AI is built what to improve based on your experience. You learn, and then you improve. So improvement part has to. So you have to learn from the aspects of artificial intelligence how to improve. So for the media, there are two kind of things. First thing is that how you can utilize AI for your job. Okay, first thing, and AI, how you can utilize AI to enhance what you want to do with your job. Okay? So the thing is now the fancy aspects of AI, like you might have already encountered the metaverse. So the metaverse and journalism AI. So it has already started. You can say like making its presence felt in our daily to daily life. So in metaverse, what we do, we can create atmosphere, right? We can create a scene where you will feel connected to the place, right? So the thing is, if you are from the AI, if you are from the media person, only suggestion I would do here is that get acquainted. You don't need to do AI. You don't need to understand how AI works, but you need to understand for sure how to use AI for your own work. One of the difficult aspects of AI, what was earlier, was that the coding part. Many of us, those who are not from a science or CSE background, they're not used to programming. They're not used to coding. But coding has also become like now automated. You can just so there are packages. You can just integrate the packages and you can just solve it, right? You can just use AI. So it is creating a challenge that the roles, like you can say summary, right? AI has started creating news articles. Right? It has started creating news articles. It may also create blogs. But the thing is, whenever we are writing, right, for as a journalist, also we are so we are used to like we follow one journalist because of their style, right? We follow another journalist because of their style. So this preference of style will not vanish. AI cannot replace this. AI cannot replace human approach. But you can make use of AI. Suppose if you are creating a news article, you may just have a program. It will create a news article for you. You may put and when you're creating something, many of the aspects are routine, right? Many of the aspects are routine, there where you don't need your own personal touch. So for that part, you can use, and then you can polish these things. So it will definitely speed up your work. It will definitely speed up your work. You want to have a summary. You want to have a summary of news articles. You can use AI. Right? If you want to do fact checks, you can make use of AI. But you need to upgrade. That is the fundamental requirement, or you can say threat, which is being posed by AI at this stage.
Thank you so much for giving such important understanding, which I believe all media teachers, all media students need to have. One thing more I would like to ask, you refer to metaverse. So can you explain it a little bit more? Also in the light of this augmenting reality and the virtual reality, which has already been there even before, I mean, the example that you gave just now with regard to the news world. So obviously in the field of news, the AI use is very new, but as far as AR and VR is concerned, in the entertainment sector and otherwise, a lot of use of AR and VR has been there. So how can you explain this in the present day scenario?
So explain what is augmented reality or virtual reality, or explain how to use AR, VR in media and journalism.
Yeah, in media particularly.
Okay, so augmented reality is like you are having a system where you can so suppose if I want to have a feel of being present near a beach, right? So augmented reality will help you in achieving it, right? So it will create a situation where you will actually realize that you are in a particular location that you choose to be. Okay, so in metaverse, like you can see, as our lives are primarily now, you can say, uh, very tied with the social media platform, right? So we chat, we interact. So we want to create similar feel, right, as we communicate among ourselves, right? So not just chatting, I also want to be present to like next to you. So their metaverse is being utilized. So you say, suppose I am chatting, so I will create a situation or augmented reality with. So if suppose I want to have a discussion with you over a cup of a coffee. Maybe I'm not sipping a coffee, right? But I want to take a feel of being present at CP. So something like this is already in place. But how to utilize this in journalism and AI? So one of the things is how you definitely use it as to enhance the services that you are creating. So suppose you are creating like you're reporting for a news, maybe you are reporting for World Cup or maybe Asia Cup, right? So there, with the augmented reality, you can create a scenario that you are already present inside the field. You are gauging balls, right? So this is the enhancement of the services will definitely be improved. Okay, uh, with the augmented reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Next
would
thing
also
also,
like to
what
know,
you can do. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would also like to know, since you are into research and you have been guiding the PhD students as well in this area. So what are the latest researches which are being made in AI and how that is going to benefit our lives in future?
Yeah, so as we say, when we do research, the components of research are very specific, right? So at a very we are working on a foundational aspects of AI. So we are working on algorithms, right? But what aspects of AI you can make use of it? So you might be aware of that like some of the latest results when I say that please show me a cow with one horn, so that program will generate an image and it will look so realistic. So these levels of results have already been coming next, where you like actually it will impact our life. So see, the thing is, when we are for the cancer cells, for the cancer disease predictions, you can see. So like these problems are very difficult, right? And we all, as a researcher from different fields, we are working continuously in this line to at least help the improvement of our life based on diseases and all, right? So in this case, AI is creating spaces, or AI is helping in like designing drugs which are helpful for curing cancers, which are helpful for curing different genetic disorders. So these aspects of our life are routinely been touched upon by AIs and like AI and and the new results.
Yeah. So my last question to you would be, since you have told so much, and even in such a young age, you have achieved so much, done a lot of work. What is the next thing that you think you should take up at this time or after a few years?
So the applications of AI in social sector is the next thing that I would like to pursue personally, especially for the Indian citizens, right? Because India is a country of diversity, right? And the development and poverty both exist here, right? So we want to have so we are working on a setup where by the use of AI, by collaborating with different hospitals, that so the thing is, see, in many places still in India, you do not have doctors, you do not have hospitals, right? And many of the diseases, like you can say fever or many of the smaller diseases, their AI based system have been have shown to like give great accuracy, okay? Or suppose if I am designing a system, suppose I scan my palm, or maybe I scan my retina, and I put on an app, and if it is going to recommend me, okay, you need to have this kind of checkups. So we are working on a collaboration where the person's medical data could be automatically be uploaded to an app, okay? It will be still private, it will be still preserved, there will no violation of privacy. But the thing is, when you have data, suppose we have examples ki, if this was my chest scan, if this was a chest scan, then he or she might be prone to some kind of a diseases, right? We know in advance. So if I have trained a system such that if I give a new chest X-ray, okay, it will recommend that with this probability or with this accuracy, he or she may be prone to this disease. So we want to utilize the system and give an alarm. Okay, you need to get tested. You need to get tested. So this is one we can use directly now. Now we want to extend this to the places where we do not have hospitals. So nowadays mobile phones are everywhere, right? Nowadays mobile phones are everywhere, but hospitals are not everywhere. Doctors are not everywhere. So technology is already helping us in creating something which were not possible uh, earlier. So at least where the in the remote places where like the availability of doctors are not there, we can be the first layer of, you can say, supervision. So just if I am like facing like difficulty, then he may just click photo, or may have a like video consultation. In video consultation also, now the doctors are limited, right? Doctors are limited. So we may not have doctors who can address to the entire population. So we will be creating robots where for some of the so you might be aware of chatbots, right? So many of the companies, when you go, so there are routine questions that you can definitely get answers for, right? So similarly, for the medical advices also, there are some of the very you can say so doctors also follow a strict procedure, like if this is happening, this is happening. So at least first layer of checks can be done. So we are also on that line, that can be for the places where we do not have active doctors. We have a first layer of supervision for like for the citizens there. Yeah, so this is where we are looking at I am personally involved in this project and looking forward that we may create some impact
And
in the coming.
this will be a great service to humanity if I mean you are able in doing it. And that is how, I mean, we all believe that science and technology can do wonders as far as making the human lives better. So my all best wishes for your endeavor.
Thank you.
And moving towards the end of this program, if there are any student or the teachers who want to put up a question to Dr. Sandeep, Sumedha, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Sandeep, sir. This is Dr. Sumedha Dasmana. And I want to talk about blockchain technology because these days it is so very popular. Everybody is talking about it. But sometimes you see it is difficult to, keep pace with the new technologies that are coming up. So I have, as far as I know, blockchain will enable a scenario in which cybercrime will decrease.
Am I
And it
audible?
will-
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to know your opinion on this. How would a hacker, his role would be eliminated in this scenario? So this is
So the thing is, see, so as we, so you can, there will never be like, so suppose if we increase the number of police and we may equip police with latest technology, but still there will be someone who will be smarter or maybe like, so you cannot eliminate completely a hacker, right? But you can have checks, right? You can have checks. So this blockchain technology is providing the first layer of check. First layer of a check, not from the perspective of hacker, but from perspective of, you can say, information mismatch. In a sense, the ledger is fixed, so no one can change. So whatever has been written on that ledger, so blockchain ensures that the ledger cannot be changed, right? So you are having a first layer of privacy, first layer of secrecy, but of course, the blockchains are going to be smarter, right? So the same way, you will have hackers who will definitely be more smarter. So eventually, the thing is this improvement, and then also, so whenever we design a technology, we also think of the pitfalls, right? So suppose
right.
if the technologies are going to in a bad hand, then how he or she will utilize it. So we call it as a responsible AI. So in AI, you might have heard about the term of bias. So the thing is, when we are using AI for the legal justice system, so it has shown that the AI is a bit biased towards women, is biased towards blacks. So these are the terms under the responsible AI or safe AI. So of course, we will have checks. So you trust on us, those who are building technologies. So if we are creating something new, we will definitely have something which will keep check on the hackers and which will be making our overall system secure and private.
All right, sir. All right. Sir, I also wanted to know your opinion on metaverse. What you think, according to you, would be the future, and why is it still not able to, implement at a larger level? What are these?
So future is, I think, metaverse is one of the reality that we need to accept. Facebook is working on metaverse. The thing is, you can see, we want to have a realistic experience, right? And people are working on it. So the time we will have, so very soon we will have some layer of the technology where it sorry. So where it is providing realistic experience. But the question here is not about where a metaverse can go. How we want to use it is the real question. So there is a case where metaverse is being utilized to, you can say, commoditize the grieving. So there was a story, it was also covered in WION, that a grieving parent, so a parent, a small daughter died. So the metaverse company was giving the experience that they're talking to their dead kid, and they were making money out of it. So whether we want to go in this direction, that is the question that we want to ask. And these questions we cannot ask because we build technology. These questions you have to ask. You have to ask whether the trend is going on. Suppose some like some company is building something like this, you have to report it. You have to put a check on us. No, you cannot do it. You cannot make money out of the grieving or the misery of someone. So the case is reported that the like 4 or 5 year daughters died, and they were creating a metaverse where the daughter was there and that lady was interacting with her. So yeah, so these things are more important questions. And now, where can this technology can go? That is not the right question. The right question is where it should go, where it should not go. And the irony is that technologists primarily do not focus on it should not go, because we are too much, you can say, we believe in possibilities, right? So we keep creating things and things and things. We do not analyze what are the downfalls, what are the, you can say, side effects of these technologies. And as a social science, you can say, people who understand how it is impacting humanity, or the media persons, they have a very strong role in in giving directions to these trends.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Sandeep. You opened a completely new world before us for so many things that you told. Obviously, we were not aware of, or even if somebody would have been aware of, but the way, the ease with which you explained everything, that was really amazing. So thank you so much for doing this for all the students and the teachers who are there in this session. And at the same time, not only that, you talked about the intricate aspects of technology, the kind of researches which are being done, and the final thing that you told us, your interest area and the things that you want to do in the social sector for health, that will really be a change maker in the time to come. I wanted to finish the program here, but then there is
Sir,
one hand raised. Yeah, Saiba, you want to say something?
sir, there is a student, Nitin Gupta, and he's been waiting to ask a question.
Yeah, but his hand raise has come now. Anyway,
Yeah.
Nitin, ask your question fast.
Thank you, sir. So thank you for the great talk, Sandeep, sir. I just wanted to know, like,
You're
so
on
I've
mute.
followed.
Nitin, we can't hear you.
No, I can hear him. I can hear him.
Acha, okay, great. Please go ahead.
So, sir, I was asking, like, I follow up Elon Musk a lot, and he talks about on AI and what will the future of the AI. So, in like last of his podcast, he said, like, within coming 20 years, AI will be evolved so much, like coming to the human intelligence, that it will be merged together, and we will stop having conversations. Like, it will become into an extent where a universal language will be established, and everyone could be communicating through that, like a computer chip in your brain, and you can just pass on to the message. So, having this thought, like imagining this future, what do you think like media would be in that sort of world, like if we are progressing towards that? So do you think like there will be a media chance where you can hear the thoughts of the other person? So will that any sort of media will exist, like any sort of journalism will exist in that?
So whenever you want to predict future, right, so the best suggestion is that you also look back to history, also discuss from those who at least who are 60-70 years older to us, and see like the technology is what we are having now, right? So at that time it was it must be like a magic, right? So communicate, like people communicating over phone, right? People communicating over phone. So of course things will change, but we humans are a product of the evolution of billion years, right? And artificial intelligence is the product that we are creating. So human will definitely adapt to the changes, and it's not that the case that the human emotions will be completely taken over, or it's the case that whatever we are thinking can be exactly interpreted. It may, because we are working on brain computer interface. So there will be something, at least we may make some sense of out of the out of our thoughts, but we will definitely have our own adaptation to these kind of technologies. Like earlier when we did not have phones, right? So we were used to live in a different manner, right? Now we have phones. Now for everything we are dependent on Google. At the same time, with technology, with technologies, it has helped our life. It has also created many possibilities. Many of the businesses, right, which are not making sense at least 10 years back, now they are the mainstream, right? So humans will definitely adapt to it. I cannot say exactly how it will adapt to, because once you do not encounter, you will not guess anything. But humans will definitely adapt to it. Next thing is that about the job, the job that will be taken over by the AI. So thing is, AI is going to definitely take some of your jobs. But to create AI, we need humans. AI cannot create a different AI, right? So there we need skill force who understand how to create AI. And the thing is, AI is not a one particular field. AI can be applied to everywhere. AI is now being applied to medicine. AI is now being applied to media. So to create AI system which is suitable for like for media, we need media person with like working together with technologists. So the thing is, you need to start understanding how this AI works. AI is nothing but learning from experience. So make sure that you understand the details, be comfortable with some layer of programming, although it's not the mainstream for you now. But if you have some kind of understanding, you will realize that your career like trajectory will be completely different. You will be at least 5-10 years ahead from your peers if you are bit. And nowadays this will not create like this will not require much of your time, because everything is available on the internet. It is just now your will that is required to like get into this particular area. So just understanding AI, there are many. Understanding the particular domain, there are many. But understanding two domains together, they are very less. So
So thank you again, Dr. Sandeep, because you have made us understand that a completely new world of possibility will be opening us before our eyes in the time to come. Thanks to AI and the related technologies, we are simply waiting all that to happen. And thank you once again to bring so much information, so much understanding to us with regard to AI. So I thank you, and thank you all the attendees, all the participants in this session. Thank you all.
thank you.
The first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects. Nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.